Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, well, the Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska occurred on Friday. I just speed watched my video that I put up a few days ago on that. And, no, knock me over with a feather. The most likely things that happened seem to have happened. The reading was actually pretty good. The only difference is, I would say that in my reading, I had them talking a lot more than they did. But, it was basically Putin meeting with Trump, and they're just reestablishing their old relationship. They were aligning themselves. Putin wants sanctions removed from Russia, and Trump wants his Nobel Peace Prize. And that... Putin basically really wants those sanctions lifted because it will help him cement his power and get the Russian economy going again, so he and his oligarchs have their money freed up to spend, and he won't have as much mutiny underneath him. The whole thing about Alaska, whether Putin and Trump talked about that, I don't know if they would have had time to do that. But yeah, and was watching a couple of body reader experts, and one guy was saying, "Oh yeah, they look like all chummy and fine," and the woman who I watched said, "There's some threatening going on here," and she had an interesting part where she noted their step cadence was off when they first started walking down the red carpet together, but by the end of the red carpet, their cadence was back in step, and she was reading that as they're not aligned currently. And by the end of the meeting, they will be aligned, which is almost exactly what happened. In this Reuters story, Donald Trump said on Saturday, Ukraine should make a deal to end the war with Russia because Russia is a very big power and they're not. They're being, let me put it in David speak. Russia is a very big power. Russia's strong and Ukraine is weak. After hosting a summit where Putin was reported to have demanded more Ukrainian land. In these bullet points, the source that talked with Reuters said that Putin's demanding control of the entire Donetsk region. Trump talked with Zelensky and told Zelensky, you gotta make a deal. Actually, no, he was on Tucker Carlson, or he was talking with Tucker Carlson, or Sean Hannity, excuse me. And Sean Hannity said, what would you tell Zelensky? And Trump said, you gotta make a deal. Zelensky rejected the demand. His statement is, the Constitution doesn't allow me to cede land to Russia. You'd have to change the Constitution first. Zelensky is supposed to meet with Trump on Monday with European backup. The European allies say they will maintain or increase pressure on Russia. So what did we come away from this? Pretty much nothing. Trump did not get a ceasefire. He did not get any guarantees from Russia to stop the war. Hell, he got no concessions whatsoever from Russia. Instead, what did Putin get? He got to be on American soil. He apparently when you host another leader, the host country talks first, and then the visiting country talks second. Putin talked first. Wonder if there's a subtle thing there, because there's been speculation that Putin wanted Alaska back in Trump's first administration, and we were joking about that, and it was like Linda G's guys are saying, don't laugh, he's serious, talking about Putin wanting it and Trump discussing giving it up. Nico wanted to come by and visit. He was sleeping on the chair, and I picked him up and moved him onto the bed, and 10 minutes later he's back demanding attention. Here, let me give you a cat fix. Or maybe it's easier if I pick him up. Come here, you. Give the audience what they want. They're not here for the readings. They're here for the cats. They're here for the cats, and they stay for the reading. Oh, you're just a baby. Oh, look at the void. Going down. No, it's not what I wanted. Anyways, train of thought interrupted. Oh, yeah, Alaska. Wanting Alaska. I don't know if they would have been able to talk about that, but long and short of it, Russia wants all this territory. They want the sanctions lifted and just call it a day. Call it a win. And Zelensky's like, yeah, go pounds sand. So let's take a look at the energy around these talks between Trump and Putin. How did things turn out? Again, the news agency basically saying Putin got a win. You know, he talked first over Trump, which you could read as Trump's already agreed to give him Alaska, so he's acting like the host country, even though it's currently a U.S. territory. Trump got no concessions from Russia whatsoever. Like, not even a concession that will stop, you know, targeting civilian infrastructure or civilians. Didn't even get that. War crimes. War crimes. War crimes. And instead, he goes over to Zelensky and says, you need to surrender so I can get my Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't say that last part, but that's the implication. So let's look at the overall energy of the meeting between these two minds. Okay. Entertainment purposes only. Here we go. Four of Wands, it's the wedding. They've reunited, and it feels so good. Hello. Speaking of being reunited, what? I don't have a bracelet on there. You can't bite it. You are being a pest. You're being a pest. I meant Putin and Trump were reunited, not you and I were reunited. Crazy cats. Okay, we have taken the cat over to the bed, shook some food in front of him, and closed the door so I can get through this uninterrupted. For all the cat lovers out there, my apologies, but he does not make the best table. Reunited again. Trump and Putin, or Putin and Alaska. Crossed with the King of Pentacles and the Empress underneath. Russian interests crossed by money and power and influence. They reunited, and Putin's the daddy and Trump is the mommy in this one. Putin's getting what he wants. This whole meeting is about Putin getting what he wants. And if Putin gets what he wants, then Trump gets what he wants. Trump doesn't care about Ukraine. He doesn't care about the geopolitical situation. He doesn't care about stopping Russian aggression in Europe. He doesn't care about anything. What he cares about is his shiny medal that he doesn't have, that Obama got. That's it. And self-enrichment and staying out of prison. So as long as I have lots of money, I don't go to prison, and I get this bauble, we're all good. Russia got what they wanted. And Russian media is celebrating it as a win. As well they should. In the past, you got the Eight of Wands. There was probably quite a bit of communication going on between the two of these guys leading up to this summit. Now, Trump, they had to cut it off short, and I don't know if I've ever read why they had to cut it off short. A puppet TikTok I was seeing was joking that Trump had a 3 p.m. tea time. But yeah, this was like intentionally short, probably because of the miscommunications earlier. There was nothing to agree to other than what Putin told Trump, and Trump said, yes, daddy. Current situation is the Moon card. There are secret agreements between the two of them. I had that show up in the last reading too. There's no confusion other than lunacy of our current leader, but they have a secret plan that they've agreed to. And they reiterated that plan, whatever that is. Sorry to be conspiracy theory-esque, but the Moon card's about confusion or secrets. But eventually these secrets will be revealed. Overarching energy is the Death card, the end of something in the beginning of something new. Now, Trump wants the end of the war, again, so that he can get his bauble. Putin wants the end of the war because it's the one thing that's going to prevent him from being overthrown. It's going to extend his leadership and extend his legacy. The lesson we learn is the Ace of Swords. While they both agree what they want to have happen, and they both have their motivations for why they want this to happen. The problem is the people that needed to be in this wedding weren't here. You had the bride and the father of the bride, but no groom. Or, yeah, the groom and the father of the bride, but no bride here in this case. So without Zelensky, this meeting is useless. This is just another example of, okay, we know what the plan is and we agree to the plan, so let's go forward with the plan. Expect there's going to be a lot of pressure being put on Zelensky on Monday. We're probably going to get a repeat of that stupid J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, you've got no cards thing. And I hope Ukraine's got another one of those clandestine missions that blows up a third of Russia's air force in their back pocket. Just to show you that, yeah, we do have cards. Outcome is the Knight of Swords. Yeah, and that could be what this is. I think Trump is going to go back and champion what Putin wants. I'm curious to see what Zelensky is going to have in response to that. We won't have to wait very long because that'll be on Monday. That puppet, that puppet TikTok I was telling you about earlier. It was actually really well done as far as points. The puppet Putin was basically saying, and they look like Muppets, little hand puppets. Putin in this little skit was saying that it was a weak Russian leader that basically gave away the Alaska territories to the U.S. The implication is it's going to be a weak U.S. leader that gives it back to Russia. Lifts the sanctions. Russia gets to keep everything they've got in Ukraine and more, and Trump gets his bauble. How did Putin come away from this meeting? For Carter, Putin and Trump. How did Putin come away from this meeting? How's he feeling? He got everything he wanted. He got the agreement. He and Trump are in lockstep again. He's calling the shots. And I'm not sure what the justice card is, but it's kind of I think he's, if he's in charge. It's like he's like on the law side of things, but he's going to keep things quiet. So Putin's happy and relieved. Not that and that justice card could be nothing more than Agent Krasnov type of energy there. But, the hierarchy has, and maybe the justice card could be, it's just the hierarchy has been reestablished. Putin's in charge. Putin's telling Trump what to do. Russia, which, used to be considered the second best army in the world, is now the second best army in the war between it and Ukraine. Is telling the U.S., which has the most powerful army and the most influence in the world, closely followed by China, what to do and how to do it. How did Trump come away from this meeting? No, we're going to work on the deals. He's going to go back and share what they talked about. Ten of Swords. He got nothing that he wanted. Nothing up front. He has to wait. But there's that secret again, the secret plan. And there's going to be a new start. This is the card that came out when I asked about Alaska the last time. And they've been in communication. So probably there's going to be stuff, spinning that they have to do. They have to communicate this and quickly. There's secrets that he doesn't want to reveal, or secrets that are still being kept. He might have been threatened with those secrets. And he's been given a new opportunity to work with Vladimir on this one. So Trump basically bought himself time. Maybe the Epstein stuff gets kept secret. Maybe Russia floods the airwaves with propaganda saying Trump is being set up by the deep state and Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and stuff like that. It could be that. that would certainly fit the the moon cart. You start another online propaganda blitz that tries to deflect Trump's involvement with Epstein and puts it on Biden and Obama and Clinton's and stuff, such things as that. That would fit. What's Zelensky's current feelings after talking with Trump and seeing what he's seen with regards to this? He's going to keep fighting. He's evaluating his options. He knows that he's in charge of a country. He's not surrendering. He's not gonna. It's more of a call to arms, but it's just going to be more difficult. Trump made things more difficult, and he has to reassess his fight. Interesting though. Underneath is the high priestess. He still knows stuff. He has intelligence that he's working with that helps keep him in the fight. And maybe it's just maybe if the U.S. threatens to withdraw intelligence again, then he has to really reconsider if the fight's worth it. Because one of the things that helps Ukraine is a constant flow of U.S. intelligence to help them track Russian movements and things along those lines, which Ukraine has used extremely effectively to prolong this war and keep it to a near stalemate. Given the energy right now, how is the meeting on Monday shaping up? I'll be reading again. I mean, I record this on Saturday. I'll probably record it again on Sunday. But how will this meeting shape up? And I can almost guarantee you that when my brother calls me today, say, "Hey, you want to do a bunch of readings for the week?" This will be the one that goes up Sunday night, because it'll be right before the meeting with Zelensky. How is this going to turn out? King of Cups. That was interesting because that came out as my outcome card in that first reading of what else Spirit wanted us to know. And I joked that they were going to blame Biden for this, because of course they would. And then talk about emotionally immature men. But we've got that. It's almost like you're playing on the compassion, a compassionate leader. And that's not going to be Trump. That's going to be Zelensky. And then cross with the fighting. And underneath is the Ace of Wands. There's going to be a strong new action that's taken. Trump wants a ceasefire, or maybe even Zelensky's willing to agree to a ceasefire, a halting of hostilities. But the problem is, Russia most likely would use that to regroup, and then start a fresh offensive once they figure they've regrouped. He doesn't trust Putin at all, nor should he. And his cards come up in the past too. Eight of Wands. There's been some communication going on, unless this is just missiles being shot back and forth and such. But there's been some communication going on, and it could be that Ukrainian intelligence, if Putin and Trump have been talking, Ukrainian intelligence has access to that conversation. Current situation, the victory card. Ukraine's not going to be victorious anytime soon. Is this Trump coming in acting like he's going to be victorious? Notice all the fire energy. We've got 4 fire energy cards. Zelensky's not done yet. I just don't get the feeling he is. Things are going to progress. Lesson we learn is the King of Wands. That long pause was the one thing I kind of forgot to ask was, is this going to be another moment like the last time he was there? And I think that's what this is. He's going to go there, and it's going to be a frickin' firestorm, because here comes Trump with the big beatdown stick. You've done it before. I came out on top, and get ready for me to do it again, because Trump holds the big stick in this one. I think I think Zelensky is just going to get absolutely abused again by Trump and Vance. More fire energy. Good Lord, could you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cards with fire energy on there? He's just going to be under assault the whole time. Go back and think about it. You got your Ukrainian sunflower there. Go back and think about what your next actions are going to be. The fighting's got to stop. Declare Putin the victor. Just move on. You'll still be able to rule part of your country. And isn't that worth something? I'm sorry to say, but the vibe I get is that while the U.S. should be supporting Zelensky, I think they're going to abuse him. I think we're going to see something similar to what he and Vance did the last time and absolutely abuse this guy. And I'm disgusted by that. And for any Ukrainian citizens that happen to have stumbled onto this video, this is not how the majority of the U.S. populace thinks. We've had our most conservative members of society fall prey to Russian propaganda talking points. And the right-wing news media that they listen to echoes those talking points. And a lot of them are lies and verifiable lies, but the people that listen to them don't care. It paints a worldview that they want to see. Why they want to see it, I don't know. Because they're petty, horrible people. Anybody who has some intelligence and some critical thinking skills disagrees with it. Ukraine was minding its own business, and Russia invaded it and took over part of it in 2014 and went to finish the job in 2021. And they were told not to do it. They did it anyways. They thought they would be done in like a week or a few weeks, and it's been over 3 years. They wildly underestimated what they had, not to mention the corruption and rot that had occurred within their ranks. And now they're looking for an exit plan, but because they could throw tens of thousands of bodies at Ukrainians every week and take those as casualties, they're slowly making progress. But it's an incredible cost. Not worth the cost. But when you're an oligarch and a dictator, you don't care about people, especially peasants. They're just cannon fodder. Which 50s are we going back to? The 1950s, the 1850s, the 1750s, or the 950s? And we don't even know if it's AD or BC. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.